Anthropic proudly claimed its team of 16 Claude Opus 4.6 agents had written a Rust-based C compiler from scratch. The AI-created C compiler can compile this, that, and the other thing. Yes, even Doom, but so what? The C language is 53 years old. That's older than many of you. The C ecosystem has torture test suites that encode the subtleties of the language at every step. In addition, I have no doubt that all the many open source C compilers and tools were already in Claude's LLM. But were the open source C compilers fully inside Claude's weights? Probably not. As several people pointed out on GitHub, because the Anthropic compiler doesn't include the path to the native C library on your system, it can't compile Hello World. That's a nice litmus test. If your miracle compiler chokes on a canonical first example without hand-holding, it's not ready to stand next to GCC and in anyone's toolchain. Over on Hacker News, commenters distilled the two narratives nicely. Pro LLM coding agents, look, a working compiler beat in a few hours by an agent. This is amazing. Anti-LLM coding agents, it's not a working compiler though. It doesn't matter how few hours it took. The truth is in between, but it's much closer to an interesting lab demo than an obituary for human programmers. Yeah, for sure. AI simply isn't ready to take over programming jobs yet. No, it's just a useful tool that requires careful expert use to be effective. This is actually true. For some reason, this person felt the need to remind us that, hey, by the way, they didn't discover compilers by themselves. Well, yeah, duh, we know. And the feat, in a way, like Anthropic is not trying to convince us that Claude rediscovered how to build a C compiler from scratch. That's not what the achievement is. What's impressive with Anthropic's C compiler here is just that they managed to do that. They managed to make a working C compiler from scratch based on their training weights. And contrary to what this guy seems to think, the training weights obviously don't save the code bases 100%. Like an LLM cannot afford to remember verbatim 100% of the code bases, and specifically the C compilers open source code bases. It's not something that LLMs can do. They have vague traces of it. They have to iterate with their thinking tokens, and they have to, try to reason about what they just produced, and that's the achievement. The achievement is the models could not do that before. They could not actually reason to fill the gaps, and now they can. Yeah, the guy didn't really understand the achievement here. He tried to see something in this achievement that Anthropic never intended to say.